So on this channel, I talk a lot about don't just apply with any lender. Make sure you're looking at third-party reviews. Make sure they're a top lender. And people often go, she's just saying this because she has a lot of good reviews and she's a top lender. No, I'm saying this because there's certain things that you would just expect a lender to do that most lenders don't. So I'm going to use an example today. And look, these videos definitely come out later than the actual date. So this is a moment in time. 2 days, for the last 2 days prior to today, rates were coming down. Okay. I watch rates all day long. I get alerts texted to my phone. Myself and my team are pricing 8 hours a day. That's all we do. We're always looking at rates. What rate? Because people are asking us about rates and it's our job, right? So, so for 2 days, we're looking for every single ability to renegotiate a client to a lower rate if the opportunity presents itself. We're giving them advice on things to consider. Okay. Today, rates started going up again. I'm already on top of every single person that we can lock that wanted to wait last night before the market reprices. Okay. I start watching the market from the moment I wake up. I wake up before the market opens, guys. So I am watching that market. And you may go, well, wouldn't every lender tell their clients if rates were going to get worse and try to get them locked? Duh. No, guys, there's so many lenders, I can't state this enough. So my son is actually going through the mortgage licensing process, okay? Because he's in college, he's a business major, brilliant kid. I'm like, he's going to be great. I can get him to help people. And he was asking me, he's like, well, okay, so all the stuff you do, I'm going to learn this during the education, right? No, the way that mortgage lenders get trained, guys, the 20 hours of required education has nothing to do with actual loan products, watching the market, or how to understand rates. Zero, zilch, nada, nothing. All of the stuff that makes it so that you guys end up with better rates, you guys have the ability to renegotiate, you're taking advantage of the market, you're being protected from the market as it gets worse. That's all learned on the job. That's not something that's in a guidebook, okay? Because think about it. The mortgage bank itself, right? Whether it's a mortgage bank or, a direct lender, whatever it is, do you think they really care if you get the lowest rate? Here's the thing. Let's use today as an example. So I was on top of everyone really quickly. I just got off the phone with a client. I'm like, I'm not usually this aggressive, but we need a lock because this is about to get ugly. And he's like, okay, lock. Do you think the bank cares if I lock someone at 9 a.m. or at 1 p.m.? They don't care. They're still making their money off that loan. The person who cares about the timing of when I lock them is you. Right? So it's not like you have lending institutions or anyone telling people how important it is to pay attention to the market, because all they care about is getting a client locked, closed, funded, money. That's it. That's all they care about. In a perfect world, do some companies want really good loan officers who are aware of this? Yeah. And they like that because it will build their business. But it's something that you guys are all expecting all lenders to do, right? People expect all lenders are watching the market. I can tell you right now, that is rare. That is rare. I will talk to lenders and they don't even have a clue what's gone on for the last 5 days. They're like, yeah, the rates were higher when I locked, but they need a house. I just can't. I can't. So you really want to make sure when you guys are talking to lenders, make sure they're paying attention to the market. If you're talking to a team, make sure someone on the team is paying attention and giving direction to the team. My job, one of my jobs on my team is to be watching that market and give direction. This morning, a text went out to every single person who deals with rates, who's licensed, that's important, to pull rates. And it said, guys, every single person, lock whoever we have. This is about to get worse. And we were able to renegotiate, get our locks in, get everything done before the market repriced. So the question is, who you're working with, are they doing that? Okay. What else? Guidelines. You guys all assume, oh, well, the lender says they do VA. They said they do FHA. They said they do conventional. So they must know it. Once again, the education to become a mortgage lender does not include any of that. Like you would assume, like, okay, if you're going to be telling people about, let's use VA as an example. If you're going to be telling people about VA loans, if you say you do VA loans, you should know the guidelines, right? Right? There's not a test or anything that we have to take. Once we pass that original test, which is based on nothing that we actually do in the job, you don't have to test to prove that you understand the loan products that you're selling. That is why we always hear these stories about people who are like, oh my God, I was in contract for 30, 45, 60 days, and then the lender told me I didn't qualify. Yeah, they never knew their guidelines from day one. Either you never qualified from day one, or they don't know their guidelines and they don't know that you do qualify, but they don't know how to talk to an underwriter to tell them why you qualify. Okay. So you want to make sure that your lender knows guidelines. And you're like, Jen, how will I know that? Guys, reviews, once again, third-party reviews. It is really unusual for a loan officer not to have any reviews. The top loan officers in the country are going to have a lot of reviews. It's going to be real easy to know if they know their guidelines. And I'm going to say this right now. It is nearly impossible to be a lender that does a couple hundred deals a year as an individual lender. I'm not talking about a call center. I'm talking about an individual lender that goes out and they get their business from clients or they get them from realtors without knowing your guidelines. I can't think of anyone I know who's considered a top lender who doesn't know their guidelines inside and out. That's one of the reasons they are a top lender. So when you're working with Sally's brothers, cousins, uncles, nephews, nieces, dog, sitter, who's a lender, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm sure they know everything, and they've closed 4 loans in the last 12 months, I can tell you right now, they don't know their guidelines. You are not going to know your guidelines closing 4 loans, period. So you're taking for granted that the lender's going to watch rates for you, that they're going to know what's going on with the market, that they're going to understand it. You're taking for granted that they know their guidelines. Okay. And this one can also lead to a lot of chuckles. So sometimes we'll have some really aggressive rate shoppers where we're like, I understand that XYZ is offering you that rate, but they're not actually going to be able to give it to you. And that's sometimes because we know the guidelines that they're working with better than they do. Yeah. And you'll see that. And then this person comes back, they go, oh, we actually have to do a higher rate. Yeah, you don't qualify for that program. And you're sitting there going, oh no, Beeston told me that. I don't want to tell her. She's going to laugh. I don't laugh. I'm always like, we don't, because look, I get it. Like if someone's offering a lower rate and they're saying they can do it, you want to believe, I get that. I understand that. But so many lenders don't know guidelines. It's scary. And here's the thing. Do I know every single guideline? No, God, no. And if someone says they know every guideline, be afraid because that's bullshit. It's impossible. Guidelines are constantly changing. So VA, everything I knew last year, is it the same this year? No, it's constantly changing, so I've made a big part of my business reaching out to underwriters. I've got a email. I can just send an email to a gal. Hey, this just came up. What do you think? She'll look it up. She'll figure it out. She'll get right back to me. Does your lender, are they staying on top of guidelines and do they have access to people who can help them clarify guidelines? That's another one. You would assume all lending institutions are the same, but I want to be really clear, guys. There are a lot of lenders who are learning lending from my channel. This is it. This is the best they're going to get because their company is giving them no support. And look, this channel is very thorough and I can totally see why they're watching it. But this is literally the education you guys are getting from my channel is what the lender's getting. And that's just the ones that watch me. There's a lot of lenders out there that aren't trying to get education. They're not getting anything from their company. They're just trying to sell. Well, let me just do your app. Yeah, I can get you whatever you need. Oh, I've got the best rates. I'm the biggest lender in town. Check them out. Okay. We're always going to verify, then we're going to trust, because where I see consumers make the biggest mistake, we talk about rate shopping and people go, oh, it's because they don't rate shop. No, it's because you're not paying attention to who you're working with and you don't understand, you may go, they have a lower rate. Cool. Do they know the guidelines? Is your loan going to close? They have the lower rate. Okay, well, if the market dips, can they renegotiate? Are they watching the market every day? Are you actually locked? Start asking those questions, guys. It's not just about whoever says they have the lowest rates and fees. It's about who actually understands the market, is going to lock you, knows what to do if rates drop, right? Can get in if rates are going up and get you locked if you're not, and who can actually close the deal. So just wanted to do this video because it's something that comes up a lot. And, you know, it's interesting because like as a lender, I get frustrated and I'm like, oh, why aren't they listening to me? But then if I walk it back to like, yeah, I mean, like we all want to believe that something can be real, you know, but I think it's important that you guys know it's like contractors, right? We would love to believe that the contractor coming out to our house knows everything about building a house. Anyone who's done a renovation can tell you that is not true of all contractors. Same thing with lenders. So just be really careful. Look at the reviews, look for the top lenders. Guys, they're not more expensive. They're just better at their job, okay? So as always, I'm licensed in 48 states to do mortgages. Questions, comments, reach out. I have a calendar where you guys can book on. Alyssa and Sandy will answer your questions. If they don't know the answer, they come to me. If I don't know the answer, we go to an underwriter because that's the way it should be. Thanks for watching.